Deleted session, October 8th, 1973. Now, good evening. We will begin slowly as usual with this kind of session. Generally, with the conditions as given, your surroundings were well chosen. The apartment house provided a structure in which you were. Rob noted the session was interrupted by a long-distance call for Jane from Cleveland. They said, now, the framework provided an outside structure of nonchalant interactions with people, so that even when Ruber was tempted to withdraw, there was some exterior stimuli present. The surroundings also served other purposes. Not having children, you do not have that constant steady interrelationship with others in which you are brought back always to the immediacy of the moment. Your neighbors provided that stimuli also. While Ruber was in the framework of beliefs he held, the apartment house then did serve somewhat as a countermeasure. Sometimes he may have reacted negatively, but the relationships were important. He was not trustful enough of his own being to handle his daily life in more isolated circumstances. Give us a moment. His beliefs have undergone their most significant changes, in that he finally believes that he forms his reality and can change it. Because he is the person who delivers the message, he had to accept himself before he could fully accept the message. When he did not then, he questioned the message that came through him, and then could not use it properly. The body is in the process of balancing the right and left side, and as noted, improvements on the right side are being picked up by the left. In this case, the right side is the teacher's side. There will be periods of deep relaxation, Rob noted, as today. They said, and the opportunities must be allowed for so that gains during these periods can be utilized in action later. All joints are being loosened. The feelings of unfamiliarity will only occur at certain stages. The world is continuing the sign of energy distribution and increased circulation. Some realignment of course has already occurred, strengthening and loosening the left side, so that he was finally able to mount the back stairs easier, and this will continue. The badminton for 10 minutes daily is highly important, allowing a short period for the release of normal energy, motion, and the activation of the joints as they are being loosened. 10 minutes a day is much better than 20, now and then. For now, in fact, 10 minutes a day is sufficient. Later, we will add another 5 minutes. The walking, however, is also important. There is no time limit set there. The walking will become easier, and as it does, he can then walk further. For now, let him continue as he has, but daily, walking to the corner when he feels the impetus. Give us a moment. The inner beliefs are continually strengthening the ones of freedom, and the body is responding. It is precisely here that you run up against the body beliefs. They are in turn changing for the better. I do not want him to think in terms of absolutes. Yet, at the same time, all motions and actions reinforce the healthy body beliefs and dissolve the old ones. Give us a moment here. The old body beliefs were adopted to serve the purposes of other beliefs about work that have now almost, but not entirely completely dissolved. They have dissolved sufficiently enough to be inconsequential. In time, the body beliefs connected with them could dissolve by themselves, but the pattern of habit still operates, and some of the habits can be tackled much more easily than Ruber realizes. We will come back to this. Give us a moment. He is only now beginning to trust his body, and those suggestions should by all means be continued as given. He concentrated upon proofs of the body's lack of dependability in the past, and now is beginning to build up his faith in its dependability. Again, whenever he looks will tell him so, for your honest enjoyment of his person and body will now be of great value, since now he is open to that kind of appreciation. He can use it more constructively than in the past. Remind him, and I know I am repeating myself, that concentration must not be upon the problem, which remind him has listened. I want to get into some other issues here. Take a brief break and we will continue. Now let us continue. Ruber has been working with what he calls the inward order of events. Tell him that in that order of events he can work so well at this point. Now, that anyone will have to look twice to discover that he has not working perfectly. That is the situation in the inner order of events now. The inner order is being physically materialized. Your point is vital. Let he separate the belief from himself and recognize it as a belief. That he can work properly. Rob noted a break. They said this alone will show excellent results. His legs and knees can bear his weight. This should be used as a morning and evening suggestion. It is true now. The belief that his legs and knees cannot support his weight is an old belief, and a belief, not a statement of fact in basic terms. Until now, the belief, however, has resulted in a condition of experience, a falsehood perpetuated upon the body, to which it has then responded. The belief was the result of faulty perception and understanding, adopted because of those other beliefs about work that no longer apply. The man who was bothered by epilepsy did Ruber a service, and Ruber definitely helped him. But there in dramatic fashion, Ruber saw how beliefs operated, and through helping the individual, also saw the best ways he could help himself and others as well. The man had his reassuring reassurance. Now, while Ruber acquiesced to his condition, his own reassurance were reassuring. He believed he should not get up. The reassurance are more obvious now, and to some extent, he becomes more impatient. Recognizing reassurance as reassurance will be of benefit. All is progressing at its own rate, however, and tell Ruber to trust this. The reassurance will be abandoned, but gradually slipping away. The inner self knows what it is doing. Ruber is being released. There is no doubt of it, but in a safe, natural, and ever-accelerating rate both for his body and development. I do not mean this will be a long, drawn-out process either, but one in which he tastes freedom gradually, is not frightened, but steadily encouraged, and in which there will be no backslidings, but understandings at all levels of body-mind relationships. There will be sudden, sometimes spectacular new improvements in comparison with others, and this again will be the result of other less noticeable improvements constantly occurring. Give us a moment. The shoes are one of the rituals. The cords have been caused in part by poor circulation in the feet. That is being remedied. They were also caused by improper balance, so that pressure was constantly applied in the same places due to the underaction of certain leg muscles and the stress upon others. There is also being remedied. Ruber believed he could wear only one pair of shoes. This was highly symbolic, meaning that he could walk only in one way. He purposely chose shoes that did not fit in line with his past belief that he should not be physically active. There was then a built-in excuse also. As his posture changes, the cords will vanish. Now, undue concentration upon shoes is not a help. He should, however, either go barefooted or change shoes for some short period during each day. The getting up and down each time brings him in direct conflict with the old body beliefs and ideas of motion that he used to replace. I will have more to say about that issue in particular at our next session. Aspect is truly important, for it represents the reorganization of his ideas, and in a highly creative framework. Continue the program precisely as I have outlined it. I have an addition of thoughts to add. He has not begun squatting. I want this begun. He may even hold on to something if he wants to, but I want him to feel the sensation of letting go once a day at least. In a squatting position, as he progresses, doing such movements at one time will be of great benefit. He will find himself wanting to get up earlier, finding he is enthusiastic both about his writing and wanting to have time left over for physical activities. For the first time in some time by then, he will actively look forward to getting up. Now it is no hassle to the degree that it was. Before that he did not want to. He is more embarrassed now by his walking because of a healthy impatience that is understandable. But this must be kept under control so that it does not hamper him. When you are with him, others do not offer to help. They see that he is taken care of. When he is alone and trying to be independent, then people offer and he becomes dismayed. He used the last episode, Rob noted, on the back stairs. They said to trigger an important development in walking up the stairs, but he is not to imagine that everyone else is perfect because they look all right. Then he deals with absolutes, becomes frightened, and exaggerates his condition, thinking in physical terms alone and forgetting those inner abilities of his, of creativity, that are indeed so important. Do you have questions? Ralph said, well, you've covered everything on his list except the bit about his teeth and gums. They said they will be improved as his overall condition improves. He should use baking soda and brush twice a day, as he does not do. Tension caused the condition, and the gums were weakened. The vitamins are of a help. Ralph asked, can the teeth straighten out? They said the teeth can straighten out. I have a bit more to say here. Will you get rubber mattress? Do you want a break? Ralph said, no. They said a dentist would shudder, and often surgical methods are used to correct such a condition. When, if left alone and with changes in a person's living situation, the condition would right itself. Often, of course, it would not, because of beliefs and conditioning. In this case, however, the condition will right itself as the tension is being released. The vitamin E does help, and the Ruber's idea of his own self-image is involved also. The brush for stimulation of the gums, however, is an important adjunct. It should be followed by washing the mouth out each time with a mild solution of salt and water, which stimulates and toughens the tissues. This should be done before bed. The other time is inconsequential. That is, it can be done at any time. At our next session, I will discuss weight and food. This is also connected with the gums. That is enough for tonight. Have him use it well. I bid you fun good evening. Ralph said, thank you very much. He is doing well, said good night.